I once believed that love by itself could hold a marriage together. My husband had given me everything: his faithfulness, his commitment, his respect. He was the man any woman would dream of. And yet, in a moment of selfish weakness, I betrayed him. It wasn't planned, and it wasn't about love. It was a reckless decision I thought I could bury forever. But secrets never stay hidden. When the truth finally came out, there were no screaming matches, no slammed doors, no rage-filled accusations. Instead, there was silence. His silence. And it cut deeper than any angry outburst ever could. I had prepared myself for shouting, for a storm of broken plates and harsh words. Instead, he simply stood there, staring at me. The warmth in his eyes had vanished, leaving behind an emptiness I had never seen before. He asked no questions, demanded no explanations, said nothing at all. That silence was worse than any insult. It was sharp and final, as if he had already decided I no longer deserved his words. Life with him after that became unbearable, but I accepted it as a punishment I had brought upon myself. We still shared the same house, the same meals, the same routines, but our marriage had lost its soul. He no longer kissed me good morning, no longer reached for my hand, no longer looked at me with love. It felt as though I was living with a stranger, one who knew me better than anyone, yet refused to see me. Nights were the cruelest. Lying in the same bed, I could feel the space between us more than ever. He turned his back to me every time, his body stiff, a wall I couldn't break through. I tried everything, cooking his favorite meals, leaving handwritten apologies, dressing the way I knew once made him smile, but nothing reached him. He ate in silence, threw the notes away without reading, and looked right through me as though I didn't exist. I begged for him to talk to me. I cried, pleaded, even screamed, desperate to get a reaction. But the silence never broke. And then, somewhere in that hollow quiet, I understood something I hadn't before. He wasn't trying to punish me. He was trying to protect himself. That silence was his shield, the only way he could hold on to the pieces of himself I hadn't already shattered. Out in the world, no one knew. He smiled at gatherings, made polite conversation, and played the part of the devoted husband so convincingly that no one ever suspected what had happened between us. He smiled in public, kept up polite conversation, and moved through life as if nothing had shattered between us. But behind closed doors, he turned into someone I no longer recognized, distant, silent, unreachable. That contrast broke me more than anything. To everyone else, we still looked like a couple. But the truth was, I was alone. He was no longer mine. And worst of all, I was the reason. What hurt most wasn't the absence of his touch or even the intimacy we once shared. It was his eyes. There was a time when he would look at me like I was the only person in the world, like I was everything he'd ever wanted. Now, when our eyes meet, there's nothing there, no love, no anger, just emptiness. And that emptiness cut deeper than hate ever could. Hatred at least means there are still feelings left. Emptiness means it's over, truly over. Sometimes I wished he would yell, slam a door, curse my name. Anger would have been proof that some part of him still cared enough to feel. But his quiet indifference told me the truth. He had stopped trying to punish me because there was nothing left worth saving. He had already left me in every way that mattered, even if his body was still here. That realization crushed me. Every time I looked at him, I remembered the man who once loved me so fiercely, the man who trusted me completely. And then I remembered how I destroyed it all. I didn't just betray him, I betrayed myself. For one meaningless moment, I traded away a lifetime of love and security. Now all that remains are the ruins of what I broke. Each morning I wake up hoping for some sign that he still loves me, a soft glance, a kiss, a word that feels like forgiveness, but it never comes. He moves through our shared life quietly while I am buried under the weight of my guilt. I thought I could live with what I did, but his silence is worse than any punishment I could have imagined. And the cruelest part is that he doesn't have to say a word. His distance, the lack of touch, the refusal to speak, the way he won't even look at me, is my punishment. I cheated once, but I am paying for it every day. And I know, deep down, that nothing will ever bring back what I lost.